What's up guys, YST here and welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to be checking out Armanz the Magnificent, the latest fusion. And I must say, last night on stream, I was having an absolute blast seeing him take down some of the hardest pieces of content in this game, especially in the Doom Tower. Like at the moment, we're controlling those spiderlings, which is great, but we was taking down the Rotos and Siffy wave, and the Mortu Macab wave in the hard Doom Tower with only 3 champions to support him. So we're going to be demonstrating that in today's video. But also, it's worth reiterating, we've got no books on this champion. So for players out there that don't have the books or you're waiting for a CVC, hopefully you can see how much value he has without those cooldowns. But let's just take down this spider first. We'll go into the kit and then straight over to the Doom Tower, as I do want to show you what I put together for Astranyx the Dark Fae. Like, it's actually crazy what you could do to those mirror copies, because you're fully stealing their turn meter, granting that extra turn almost immediately, and you know, it's just bringing down the cooldowns of the A2 skill. So here we go, greatest hits, boom! Let me know in the comment section below, by the way, how many of you actually went for this champion, and if you did, congratulations, because he is an absolute game changer. I was trying a bit of PvP yesterday, and my nuker got banned in live arena, right? And I literally killed the entire team with Yumiko's A1 because we just constantly locked them out and they couldn't take a turn. And, you know, we just kept cycling that A1 and they couldn't heal to get back into the fight. It was pretty funny. I guess the stream is still on my channel for anyone that wants to check it out. So here we go. Just about 2 minutes. Not too bad for stage 20, I guess. But we're going to go into stage 25 a little bit later on and bring in a few extra champions to support him, right? So opening with the greatest hits, he attacks all enemies and then will steal the turn meter of each target except enemies under sheep debuffs, followed by placing a stun debuff for 1 turn on enemies not under that sheep. Now that turn meter steal is absolutely bonkers. That's the only way to describe it, because let's just say you've got a 3 turn cooldown and you're facing like a wave of 5. You steal all of those, you practically get an immediate extra turn, and then you can lead into your other abilities such as the A1 or the A3. So if you think about cycling this, those enemies are never going to take a turn, especially in wave-based content. Now leading into his next trick, he places a sheep debuff on an enemy for 1 turn, and this debuff cannot be blocked, but it can be resisted, so accuracy is definitely something you need to consider here, even for the A2 as well. As well as a 100% chance once booked of removing all buffs from all enemies, and then will fill this champion's turn meter by 5% for each buff removed. So he's like an Energizer bunny, right? He's stealing turn meter here. He's then increasing his turn meter from buffs removed. And if you're just cycling all of these skills, he's just taking so many turns. And this is also on a 3-turn cooldown. Now on the Master of Ceremonies, whenever a sheep debuff is removed or expired on an enemy, will increase the cooldown of a random active skill to max. Like, it's just crazy. Talk about the ultimate lockout. We can lock out with the stuns. They're never taking a turn with their turn meters. You can put them to sheep. You can remove their buffs. And then manipulate their skill cooldowns as well. Like what's going on here? This guy is busted. Well, then he'll fill this champion's turn meter by 10% as well for each turn added to the cooldown. And if there are multiple champions on the same team, of course, only one will activate. So far, really impressive kit, right? And then with the A1, attacks one enemy with a 50% chance once booked of increasing the cooldown of another random active skill by 2 turns. You could just go in with this A1 and in arena, you can imagine how much of a nuisance this can be for your enemy team. And then last but not least, with his aura, he gets 28% in arena battles, very similar to Sun Wukong. So once you start blending all of this kit together, he's going to be a PvP/PvE monster. So okay, in terms of the build today, I've gone with Perception, which is accessible from the Forge, right? And this gives us the 2 main components that I feel like we're looking for, which is speed and accuracy. Because we want to get him as fast as possible so we get that constant lockout going, as well as the accuracy to even enable his kits. So we've got speed all around the board, you know, trying to get as much speed in there as possible. Pretty nice, but it's only a 5-star piece here with some speed boots. And of course, if you can get some Ascensions here, can go even faster. We got accuracy with some speed, crit damage as well, which is not mandatory. And then we've also got HP here as well. Now, as you see with the overall stats, we're going above 300 speed, but of course, tone this to your player level and gear that you have. But you want to be going as fast as possible with as much accuracy as possible as well. As you see, we're sitting at around 540. Crit rate and crit damage, I would say, is something that comes afterwards. For instance, let's just say I wanted a crit rate here. We go primary stats, crit rate, equipped. Because he doesn't hit incredibly hard, so if you just want to add a little bit of layer of damage, it's not a problem, but just make sure that he's not taking a hit throughout those battles. So if I move myself out of the way here, so we got a crit rate here with a nice speed roll, and this gives us more speed, more crit rate, and it could be a better piece for this champion, but I'm not going to sacrifice someone I use elsewhere in Prince Kaima to put on this champion at the moment. And I just want him for survivability. And then this is where something like crit damage comes to fruition, but it's mainly for the accuracy substat that I was pushing for here. Masteries, we've gone the defensive tree. Heading down to the counterattacks to utilize that A1 to increase those cooldowns of those enemies. As well as the support tree, trying to go around to Cycle of Magic to bring those cooldowns down a little bit, especially that he's not booked, because we don't have those free turn cooldowns. As well as going down to Eagle Eye to get a plus 50 accuracy. And then just going Law of Seal as well to add to our stats here. Anything else worth mentioning? Maybe improve parry, decrease some of that damage in arena, could be very good. Wisdom of Battle with the block debuffs if you're getting crowd controlled yourself. And you could go alternated as well. So if you're going for more boss encounters, where he's not crazy against many bosses, but just in case you are using him, you can go down the War Master tree all the way down the left side and maybe still stick with that support tree to get a bit more of your accuracy stats. But it's all down to your preferences. So yeah, that was the builder stats and the masteries that I put on Armanz. And once again, guys, this champion is not booked for this showcase. So you can imagine how much better he can be once you enable that. So first of all, I actually want to go into the Doom Tower. And we was playing around with these teams on stream yesterday. But I know that many of you guys in the comment section say that these floors are harder than the bosses themselves. So I feel like this is very important to showcase. So this is the team that I put together. And I also had Padraig in the mix. Stay tuned for that video sometime this week. But we did have Mithralar in there as well. So let's just try this out. So the idea is we're going to stun them. We're going to sheep the Sifis as well. And just nullify all of their effects. Just using Armanz here. So we're going to open up with our stun. Greatest hits. Look at that, constant lockout. Now, of course, Sifis passive can counter this, but we could simply put a sheep on them if we needed to. So right now, let's just say I wanted to put a sheep on her, right? We now get some petrification on, get our burns out. So we got our attack for the burns. This is our damage source with decreased attack. Mithralar, increased attack if we need it. And then Sun Wukong we're using as our target. So as you see, these magic champions are going to want to go for him because they see him as a killable target. So let's get some block buffs on. We're just layering this foundation here, right? Get some block buffs up. Okay, and there we go. Constant lockout, guys. And then we could cycle around again. Think about the free turn cooldowns once you get it fully booked. They're trying to take out Sun Wukong, see what I mean? And then you can just bring him straight back with his passive. Get a bit of a strengthen on, why not? Boom, decrease attack. And now we're going to go through, see right there, we've got one turn left with our cooldown, so it can get a little bit dicey, right? So now we're just going to do A1s. They're doing all of this crazy stuff, but now we're going to go with the A1s again. Lock them out. Do some damage. There we go. So we got a bit of damage bit into our Sun Wukong as well. But when I was using Padraig, it went a little bit better because we had some speed manipulation. So if you can bring in someone like a Apothecary to cycle your skills faster, you won't have that problem with the cooldowns there. And now we're going to save our skills. A1, save all of our abilities here. There is no problem manualing some of these encounters, right, just to get it done. But if you talk about 80% of the Doom Tower, you won't have an issue with this at all. So now we're going to go through, same kind of deal, stealing that turn meter, full out lockouts. And now we can put a sheep again, slow down our speed if we want to. Boom, boom. Same kind of deal, place those burns. Get some block buffs up. And it's all about timing our abilities, right? That's what it's about here. Boom. We can increase the cooldown as well. And remember, we can reduce some of our active skills once she wakes up from the sheep as well, which is pretty nifty with her passive. And then we can get a bit of a strengthen on again. Just trying to add those layers of protection. Detonate some burns, get some damage out. And once again, we need one more turn for that cooldown. And you see that we've done that cooldown manipulation with his A1 and also his passive, which is really adding to that lockout, right? Bit of a freeze, no problems. Petrification as well. Very good source of control. A1s. Take out the Sun Wukong. This is exactly what we want. Straight out into Petrification again. A1s. And what's going to happen right now? We got the lockout ready right about now. Here we go. Boom. Lockout. It's just crazy, right? Think about how much this can help players. And you just go boom, surplus damage, take them out again, save all of our cooldowns. So for anyone that is struggling with these waves, consider a team like this. All about control. You can bring in provokes, stuns, sleeps, true fears. Add those layers and foundations to your team, and you're going to have no problems with this. Once again, turn them to a sheep. Like, I wouldn't usually use the sheep debuff. It would only be for waves that I'm really struggling with, and we're increasing those cooldowns by doing that, right? So she can't lead into that block debuffs and all of that nasty stuff that Sify likes to do. So now they're trying to reduce the max HP, and this is where someone like Padre was actually very top tier, because he can restore that max HP. So could definitely put him into this team, for sure, for these waves. Some more Petrification. And we should be ready for our stun. There we go. It's the turn meter control as well. This is the thing. They have to go all the way again, and we can just give us increased cooldown, A1, block buffs. Like, we wasn't in any problems, and this was without any revivers. You know, if you bring in your Queen Ancoras, your Duchess Lilitus, all of your top tier revivers that you may have on your account, you know, if someone does happen to die that you don't want them to, you can just pick them straight back up, get into your control, and have no problems with this. Now, I'm pretty sure that many of you guys will be booking up your Armanz, so you'd have constant lockout here if you did. Because as I demonstrated, we had like a 1-turn cooldown every time it would have been ready. So there we go. And we haven't got increased speed. Remember that, guys, or turn meter fills. This is just straight out speed that we built on this champion. Which is fast, granted, but I feel like that's the best way to implement it into your builds. So there we go, 4 minutes 38, not a bad run to take down one of the hardest stages in this game. Now we're going to go into 104 next. I'm actually going to timeline everything, by the way. We're going to do a bit of an in-depth guide today. So this wave here is going to be a very similar theme. And it's going to be against the Mortu Macabres on wave 2. We won't go to round 3. We'll just do round 2. Alright, so we're now against the Mortu Macabre. And of course, this is an absolutely nasty wave for anybody to face. So let's do the exact same theme. Drop down that turn meter. Of course, Foley's using his passive as well. Do the same kind of thing. Put one of them to sheep, so we got some protection. Place our burns. We are going to be triggering the passive, which is not ideal, but it's what we need to do here. As well as some damage. Let's take out him. Put one to sheep, no problems. So now we got double sheep. So you can actually use this in PvE content as well to slow down some of these tedious targets. So boom, we survived that now because we've got strengthen on and we've also got decreased attack. Well, not at the moment, but we should do soon. And we've got increased attack as well. There's that Hex, decreased attack. And then we should be ready for that stun ability very soon, but we might lose a champion here. Oh, nearly. Let's do some block buffs. We don't mind if Artak dies, to be fair. All right, so he's gone. Bad case scenario, but it's not always going to happen, right? You can re-roll the dice. A1s. And look at all this petrification. This is where Mithrala comes to fruition as well. And what do? Straight back into the lockout. So if you can add a bit of damage into him, I can definitely see where that can come to life. Get a bit more of a strengthen on. Cleanse some of those debuffs off as well. Locking them out. More block buffs. Petrification. And now we're going to do some surplus damage. Take them out. And there we go. That's how you could take down one of the hardest floors as well in the Doom Tower. So we're not going to bore you with this one because Harvest Jack is crazy. But you know, you guys get the memo here. Like, he is top tier for any kind of Doom Tower waves in this game. Even if you're getting weak hits, you could bring in another champion with another form of control to cut up the slack, right? For sure. So, okay, we're now going to go against Astranyx the Dark Fae. And I did take a law out of the team. And what I really want to demonstrate is the mechanics more than the team itself. So let's get up against the boss here. So once you come up against the boss, of course, your mirror copies are going to be there, replicating all the stats on your champions. But what you could do is open up with the greatest hits. Boom, drop all of those down and then now under stun debuffs. So none of these champions and also the boss is going to be able to cut in time. So that's probably one of the best opening phases in this game when you talk about this boss. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about the sheep soon, because it actually can come to fruition. Not the sheep itself, but the rest of the ability. And then we can go for our increased speed if we want to. Then you open up with a weaken. Come in with the big nuke, and boom, completely wipe them out. I can get some decreased speed on as well. And then here, we've actually got Perfect Veil, right, which is a form of damage reduction by, I believe, 15%. And then you get 7.5% for the normal Veil. Now, what we could do is use the A3, my next trick, remove that buff, and now we can get the most optimal damage for our team. So if you can get the right speed tuning to take that off without using it as an opening phase, you can definitely see where you can speed up your runs, right? So let's just go C-Choke, boom. We just click auto. We don't have to manual this. I was just trying to break down the mechanics here. And then also once the boss steals our buffs, like right here, let's just say you steal your champion. We're going to get them back very soon. But you could potentially stun them outright like this. So now he's locked out, so the champion that she banishes, you can lock them out as well. So I just feel like it's a very cool cycle for players that don't have full control for the Dark Fae, and you've got semi-control. And you can actually deter who the champion is going to get stolen as well. So right now, my C-Choke is the champion with the highest attack in my team. And because he's so slow, we could cycle our abilities and wipe him out. So a bit of a Astranyx's Dark Fae guide here for you guys today as well. So there we go. Take him out. We get him straight back. Go straight into auto again. And then on this next ability, she could place Leech debuff. She could steal our buffs as well. And then we can use that A2, if that happens, to take all of those buffs away once again. But we're not going to have any problems from here. We've got decreased speed. There's no way she's cycling us at this point. There we go. Decreased speed. Some more damage. Max HP is coming through. Well, she might take up one more turn here, maybe. Or the Soul Reap came in. There we go. So, obviously not the fastest time. If I just did it full auto, it's around 2 minutes and 20 seconds with this team. But think about all of the options you can bring in. You could put Deacon Armstrong as the lead position here for the opening phase for increase and decrease. C-Choke was just for a bit of fun. He's not the best turn meter manipulator champion. But you can probably go with someone like Fae from the Dwarfs, who's very, very top tier. But nothing wrong with C-Choke. I love him for this. Armanz, great turn meter control and also removing those buffs. Royal Guard could be absolutely anyone. It doesn't have to be him. He's just a great option with decreased speed and turn meter reduction and those max HPs. You could simply go with a Cold Heart, right? Because our damage came out from C-Choke. Newt, once again, he's better for it to speed up the run, but you could just put double Cold Heart or Royal Guard Cold Heart. It's all down to your discretion. But the possibilities are definitely endless with Armanz in the team here. Because we're getting that immediate lockout and those champions can't cut in and get us back. So, okay, anywhere else that I really wanted to showcase, that was Doom Tower. Of course, in the campaign, for anyone struggling with some of these waves, think about the total lockout that you could provide. Like, I'm actually going to try and take out Stage 7. I feel like this is actually really important. So we go here, and then we put Armanz in the mix. Can we get a constant lockout of Mortu Macabre? So greatest hits, like just mirror this as the entire of the Nightmare campaign. For anyone that's trying to get your Sacred Shard, you're trying to go through some of those Valkyrie waves, some of those Turvold waves. I know there's some tedious ones that I've been seeing from the free-to-play. You're going to have no issues getting through that, even with an unbooked Armanz. Like right here, are they taking any turns? Absolutely not. You can bring in your squishy champions, your nukers, just to wipe out these waves, and timing your abilities effectively could be the way that you could take this down. So boom. Now, of course, the most optimal way to do this would be bringing in a poisoner, right? You know, you could take down that boss very efficiently. But this is my first time trying this, so, you know, it might not work, it will work, but I'm pretty sure if I timed everything with the right champions, we might be able to actually take this down. So boom, decrease attack. Some nice damage. This is just my Nightmare campaign farmer, my Harima. I actually want to do a guide on her. I've got a thumbnail sitting there, right? I'm like, I want to do a guide on Harima. And then live arenas never open for me. So I can't even show it. And then when I do it, she just keeps getting banned anyway. So, okay, let's see what we could do here. So we could technically put her to a sheep, right? No more crew traxer, no more damage. We can get a decreased attack on. And now let's see the lockout here. So boom, it should be a full lockout. Nice. This is going to be absolutely insane. Now, if you got that cooldown, just think that one more time. If you got the cooldown, this is going to be crazy. Let's take him out. Boom. Nice damage. A1. Let's just say you don't proc it once. So, boom. Well, Harim is a difference because she nullifies those effects. But right there, we would have had it again there. And if we didn't proc that passive, could be some nifty plays. Like right here, we can reduce it again. Steal it. Gives us time for our damage dealer to come in just to clear this for the first ever time. Like, she's not even the best one for this. Because she is Spirit Affinity, right? Boom. Nice. Can he go in again and do it? Well, the boss does boost his turn meter as well, but there we go. Steal it. Bring it straight back down again. Oh, we might actually lose this one. No! Oh, so close. Without Harima, we'd be dying. She's just nullifying those effects right with the passive. Greatest hits, steal the turn meter. But what I'd be doing is bringing in a poison champion, so a Dark Kale or a Corvus the Corruptor, champions of that nature that could just place the poisons on and it will tick every single time the boss takes a turn, right? So that could be the best effect, but you know, just for Nightmare campaign in general, without the Stage 7, you can see how much lockout that you had on those waves. So we're now in the arena, and let's just take out some teams and use his abilities to lock them out completely, especially with those stuns and those sheep debuffs, and then reducing those cooldowns. So I think he's a little bit faster than my Yumiko at the moment, because I took some gear off, unfortunately. You can open up, greatest hits, stun absolutely everybody, lead in, let's just say the, what's her name, the Valkyrie, never got stunned, go in, boom, look at that. We can lock them out as well. So now they're locked out with Yumiko, locked out with stuns, and they can't do absolutely anything, allowing us to cut in and take them out. Once they revive, greatest hits, put them straight back to stun again. And can you just imagine how annoying this is going to be to face in arena, right? It's going to be obnoxious. Like, how are you supposed to even counter this? And at this point, boom. They didn't even get to think about what was happening, guys. Like, we didn't even need Yumiko in there. Let's do another team. So let's just say, I don't know. Let's find a better one. I'm looking for something that may be a stone skin, because I do want to take it off with the sheep debuff, right? Let's try something like this, potentially. Do you know, we just leave her in for now. She's not even going faster than him anyway. We're now going to go boom. Stun debuff on everybody. Look at that. And then the Pythion, he resisted it. Boom. Turn him to a sheep instead. We're not going to use the lockout just to show that we don't need it. We're just going to use it as a hex target. There we go. We're using the increased cooldown from his passive, guys. So it's like an opposite version of the Yumiko, but upon being revived from the sheep debuff. And I think it's really insane that that can happen. Like, as you've seen, we did not use Yumiko at all there. Wiped them out with your best Nuka. Of course, Baron's top tier, but use the best ones on your account. Let's find another team here. This one could be pretty interesting. We got some Arbays in here. Some pretty top tier champions. Let's take you out. Let's put... do you know what? Let's do some Wukong. This would be funny. Double sheep. And damage as well. We open up with this again, once again. How are they supposed to counter this? How are they supposed to counter this? And then we can put... I guess we could just do this, and then we could... oh, no, that's a protected Perfect Veil, unfortunately. We can do some damage, take him out, surplus damage, go in with our nuke, take them out. Pretty fun. Who else can we do here? I know I'm just wasting gems. I'm just trying to find the most optimal teams to showcase today, guys. Here's another top tier one. I'm looking for a UDK and stone skin. Come on. We're going to take that off because that A3 is the placement of a sheep. It's not actually a hit, even though it looks like it. So you can actually just go through a not weak hit. So no stone skin again, unfortunately. But let's just stun them first. There we go. Stuns. Boom. Remove the buffs, right? We got resisted on the sheep, unfortunately. Now we can do surplus damage to take out the Sun Wukong. Going with another damage dealer. And finish up the job. Like, how crazy is that? This is what I'm talking about, guys. You need to have as much accuracy, as much speed in your build, and then the damage comes afterwards, especially in these PvP battles. Now, of course, if you're more endgame and full optimization, and you can get the damage and the speed, of course, you can get a bit more damage into your builds, but is it necessary? Absolutely not, because you're going to be using other champions to fulfill that role, right? Alright, we'll do this last battle. We might do one live arena as well, and then we'll call it a day. It's a pretty long video. Just looking at my thing, it's been like 30 minutes. Alright, boom. Greatest hits. Oh, so he does some high resistance, so we got resisted there with the weak hits. So what we could do is remove their buffs, take him out. We don't want to get locked out, right? So boom. You see that there? So this is a great example when I was saying it's just a placement skill. Because usually if that was a hit, UDK would have deterred it with his passive, and then we would have sleeped, or what's the name? Sheep the UDK instead, right? Similar to like how a Sun Wukong would do it. So let's see if we can do that. You see that? It will kind of deter the hit, right? But because it's a placement skill, we can actually go through that. So pretty insane, right? There we go. That's enough for the classic arena. Is live arena still open? Yes, it is. We'll try one battle. If we manage to get him in, we get him in. If we don't, we don't, right? Hopefully we can get a fun little demonstration here. But let me know, guys, what's your thoughts on this champion so far? Is he impressing you? Is he going to change your account? I think for players out there progressing, he is absolutely bonkers. Like, when I think about the Doom Tower 2 years ago, I was doing coroners, Manias, 15, 20-minute runs. It was insane. If I had this dude back then, I would be laughing at the Doom Tower. I'd be like, what is this? We need some harder difficulties. Let's get our champions in here. We could go like this. We'll save our Harima for a little bit later on. It's interesting because I kind of need to start thinking about bringing in a second damage dealer now. Like, usually I just bring in my Harima and my son Wukong, who's in a hybrid build. But now I got to start thinking about it a bit. So we managed to slip Armanz into the mix and we managed to keep a damage dealer. Thankfully, they kind of banned Marishka there because she can counter the bomb debuffs. So a pretty good play from them, I guess. But let's just see this come to life now. We took out their speed aura, so hopefully we're fast enough to cut in before these guys. Let's see what she does. Is she going to sleep? Oh, block debuffs. But what we could do is potentially just remove everything because we can't stun them. But we could steal their turn meters. Let's do that instead. So steal their turn meters, boost straight back in, remove their buffs. Look at that. She's into a sheep. Lock them out. Increase attack. We're kind of negatively affected with the Kanjafon for the Harima, of course, because we're always going to weak hits. But we could take out the rest of them, right? She's going to go in with a big nuke now because she got resisted there. But that Siphi's just sitting, 150 speed. We're going to go through again, reduce their turn meters, and it's just going to be annoying for them to face. Oh, we never increased the cooldowns there. We could save it one more time, I guess. Let's just keep him under Veil for now. Increase some cooldowns. Do some attacks. He's going to do an A1. He's trying to one-shot strategy me. We don't want to see this. Let's get a Hex on you. Yeah, so we just got 3%ed. We should have locked her out there with Yumiko. So now Siphi's going to come back. And then what we're going to do, control turn meter, straight into another ability, straight into a sheep again. And that Siphi's, look, even locked her out, increased cooldown. So we go like this again. Boom. Almost into another turn. Damn, how much resistance is on that? Oh, we're just getting weak hitted. Don't mind me. Boom. We could have done that on the Harima there, to be fair. But she's probably going to take him out. You can kind of see what I'm talking about, right? If you're bringing in the most optimal setup, it's going to be an absolute nuisance to face. Let's drop down that turn meter of that sheep. Going with a nuke. Take out some enemies. We can go, let's just do an A1. Let's try to take her out. Oh, nearly. Let's go, boom. She's going to revive now. Or can she? I think she's locked out, right, completely. So she can only A1 chain us. But let's see what she does. Has she got A2 ready? Only an A1, nice. Okay. So now we can drop down your turn meter. Man, I really need to put the build back on her, right? Increase cooldown. You're going to sleep my Duchess, aren't you? Don't do it. Don't do it. All right. We need to take out this Harima. This is the problem. It's just not enough. Just drop down the turn meter. Hopefully we can kill her. No. Oh, we might actually lose this one, guys. If we get locked out now with a big nuke, this could be finished. Ooh. That was lucky. That was lucky. No, no, no. Oh, the bomb killed her. The reflections. Okay, we should be good. We need a lockout here. Or has she got a revive ability yet? They're thinking. Oh no, back with the Harima. Locked them out. Oh, there we go. Reduce turn meter. I said I wanted a tough battle. Here we go. Only A1s they can do. So what's he going to do? A1. Oh, took them out. Damn. Let's just do increase attack, increase crit damage. Bring back you. Get a Hex back on you again. We need to just send all of those debuffs back. Do you know those A1s of the Siphi? We need to keep sleep chaining the Harima here. There we go, decrease attack. We don't need the decrease attack because defense based, but we could be sending some of those back, right? Now let's sheep you, get you back out. We don't want you there. Big nuke. Those weak hits. I feel like we should just like quit by now. This video is going on for way too long. Well, that didn't go too well, did it? had to leave the battle. I was like, damn, but hopefully you guys seen like how much it could come to fruition in live arena as well. And you know, those lockouts, you got some good damage dealers. Of course, we didn't ban the Harima there, which I probably should have. But you know, overall, very top tier for live arena as well. Yeah, guys, on that note, that is going to be all for today's video. If you did enjoy it, I'd appreciate a like and a subscribe. Appreciate you guys, and have an amazing rest of your week, and I'll see you all on a video soon. Peace.